Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action, and today we're back with another viewer-submitted replay. This one's from Sarmation, and it's an all-melee Wood Elves build, which I figured you guys would be very interested to take a look at. I say all-melee, I guess Orion technically has a ranged attack, but whatever. It's going to be a little bit hard to see at the moment because this map's lighting is absolutely awful. But we've got Wildwood Rangers here, 2 units of them, Support Dancers with Azrai Spear, Eternal Guard, Sword Dancers, Orion in the center, of course, more Sword Dancers, and Eternal Guard out to the flanks. A couple units of Dryads, looks like 3 in total. We've got some more Eternal Guard supporting the back line, another unit of War Dancers with Azrai Spear, so very nice melee-centric Wood Elf army there. I believe there's also a Spell Singer of some kind around. Branch Wraith actually looks like, with Earthblood, Melkoths, and the Withering. For the High Elves here that they're going to be going up against, we've got lots and lots of archers here. Lothern Sea Guard, 4 of them. We've got 4 units of archers, so lots of bow fire. We've also got 2 White Lions, 2 Spearmen, Techless on horseback. We've also got 2 units of Dragon Princes, and a single Eagle Claw bolt thrower. So you can see Sarmation's going to be taking his time, I should say, making his way up and over this ridge and coming around, using this forest for cover as much as possible. This is obviously a very smart idea. This bolt thrower, can get some shots, but if you can use this terrain, line of sight blocking terrain, and of course the woods will help block some of the shots as well. Definitely a very, very useful situation, and when you're approaching an opponent who's just camping like this, this is definitely the way to go, is to take your time, make your way around, and we'll go ahead and fast forward as Sarmation does exactly that. So again, it takes some time, you got to be nice and patient, but this is definitely the right way to go about this. You can see that bolt thrower has basically done little to no damage to this army, and it's able to make its way all the way up and across without any issues. There is 1 unit of War Dancers that, the Branch Wraith got left behind, it looks like, but he is swiftly catching up. But yeah, Sarmation's come all the way up and around here and is going to be pushing forward, using even this line of woods here as cover, so they can get as close as possible. The High Elf player could try and reposition back here a little bit. Probably be a good idea to try and create more distance, but I mean, Sarmation could come all the way up and around through these woods as well, so yeah, it's going to take some time, but like I said, this is definitely the correct decision. You can see the archers starting to fire in here, and the Dragon Princes are going to charge in the woods straight to the face of these War Dancers here. This is pretty unfortunate. The War Dancers aren't going to take that much damage because of the woods there, but it looks like an overcast net just to make sure the Dragon Princes don't get bogged down. This is honestly not the best. The Dragon Princes engaging in this heavy Nagaron sort of pine forest is really not the best. It very much needs to operate in this open space where they're not going to be slowed down and have the various debuffs that would entail. But you can see Orion throwing a few spears. Doesn't look like he actually made contact there. But yeah, so far so good for the Wood Elves, just patiently continuing to make their way forward. That charge didn't do too much damage to those War Dancers. Maybe took out, 6 unit models there, so not terrible, but not anything to write home about, certainly. Eternal Guards, though, do have some shields as they make their way up here. You can see the rest of the Wood Elf force is going to be pushing up as well. And lots of counterfire here. This is pretty expected from the High Elves. This is generally how they go about countering the Wood Elves, is just to bring an overwhelming amount of relatively cheap long-range bow fire. And you really can out-skirmish the Wood Elves pretty effectively because you have better armor, you have artillery as well, so you can see these Eternal Guards taking a lot of damage as they come in here, going to be engaged on by White Lions, but we've got War Dancers in here as well as Branch Wraiths also getting into the Spearmen. These War Dancers coming through here going to get in and start to absolutely cut the White Lions here to ribbons. That being said, they are getting focus fired a little bit by the archers here. You can see Orion calling down a bombardment, forcing those archers to move there. Yeah, these War Dancers taking a lot of damage, but it looks like now the archers are going to be focusing on Orion. Obviously, he only has 30 armor, so he will take quite a bit of damage from that, but once that Cloak of Isha pops, then he'll be relatively safe. But you can see Sarmation's being nice and patient, just keeping a lot of reserve forces, not really committing everything too heavily at the moment. Moving some other units around to be kind of a hidden reserve, if you will. But Orion's taking a lot of damage from those archers. He is soaking a lot of those hits, though. So you can see that unit of War Dancers got taken out. But the other unit of War Dancers with swords here is still relatively healthy. So we'll see. They should be able to come in and get some good damage done. Dragon Princes charge in, but there are some Eternal Guards here supporting. And Orion himself, of course, does good anti-large AP. You can see him skewering one of those Dragon Princes there. More Dragon Princes following up. And more Eternal Guards also piling in as well. You can see the Wildwood Rangers and some other units making their way up and around the flank. And the War Dancers starting to collapse right here. They have managed to get into some of these Lothern Sea Guards, so they'll be absolutely cutting them to ribbons here, with the help of the Dryads, of course. Meanwhile, Wildwood Rangers in the back line, these guys will also just absolutely cut Lothern Sea Guard to shreds. But so far, things are pretty not great. A nasty charge here going down on the Wood Elves. These War Dancers, unfortunately, not braced or facing in the right direction. They're going to take a ton of shock damage on that charge and probably get routed off. Likewise, Orion's down to only 150 hit points. Does have the cover of some woods here to help mitigate some of that bowfire, and the Cloak of Isha is active, but still, those Dragon Princes are in the area, annoying him, and definitely not allowing a moment's rest. Meanwhile, over here, we've got Wilder Rangers piling into the White Lions here. The Dryads also piling in. So this unit of this pocket of High Elves not doing great. A little bit of a supporting charge there from the Dragon Princes, but they're not all able to get free. Looks like the Hounds of Gibson also going to be summoned up right on top of those Lothern Sea Guard. Excellent cast there, and they're actually trying to flee, but it's going in the same direction that they're fleeing, so it ends up being pretty bad for them overall. Meanwhile, here in the back line, you can see the War Dancers have punched through with the Dryads, and they are just getting in here into the cookie jar. You can see they're super fast. Those ladies, man, I don't know what they're on, but they sure have some run speed. They're going to get in here and start to cut up these Lothern Sea Guard, these archers, various units, all relatively light and squishy and are great targets for these War Dancers. Up to 83 kills and climbing against the High Elves. It's very impressive. 2 XP chevrons and more, probably. We'll see. Looks like a Flock of Doom going down there on those Wildwood Rangers. Meanwhile, the regrouped unit of War Dancers here. This other unit getting into these Lothern Sea Guard here. Let's see. Orion still alive, going to take more bowfire here. But Orion just being used to tank this bowfire does mean that it's not hitting the Wood Elf Infantry, which honestly is probably a better target. You can see this reserve unit of War Dancers now coming into the fight at this point, having chased off some of those Dragon Princes, who are going to come in, get a decent charge on those War Dancers. Looks like another bombardment on these High Elf Spearmen here. They're going to try and get out of the way, but looks like they do get hit by a couple of those missiles there. And yeah, the Wood Elves are starting to pull things back a little bit. Orion's still alive, I believe. Yep, he's hiding in the woods. King of the Woods, of course. And that's where he likes to hide. And yeah, you can see the Wilder Rangers making their way forward. The War Dancers still just absolutely going to town in the back line, up to 155 kills. Just got their, 145 that is. Just got their 3rd XP chevron, so these ladies, swords out, twirling them around, getting in here with a very acrobatic flourish. And man, they are quite a bit shorter, aren't they? Yeah, not that much shorter, but they are a little bit shorter. I guess probably just because of the helmets of the High Elves make them look a little bit taller here. But yeah, those Lothern Sea Guard going to be sent packing. And the Eternal Guard's also going to come in here to start cleaning up the last of the archers. At this point, Techless is pretty much all that's holding the High Elves together. You can see the Bounce Power is taking a wild swing back in the Wood Elves' favor. You can see there's a lot of regrouped High Elf units in the woods here that definitely should come back and help. But at this point, just a matter of time before they hit critical army losses. So we'll go ahead and soak up some more cinematics of Techless getting in here, trying to help out against these War Dancers, but they are just going to town here on these High Elf archers. Martial prowess helps them out a little bit, but it's definitely not enough to help them against War Dancers, as they are going to get cut down here. Yep. And more of the same over here. Looks like also more Hounds of Gibson going to be summoned up. And yeah, they actually do more damage to the Dryads than anything there. But still, nice finishing touch there. You can see these War Dancers now getting through. And the High Elf player realizing he has some regrouped troops here. But it's probably going to be too little too late. These War Dancers are going to probably cut up these Spearmen. Hard to say. There's only 20 of them, so they're relatively low. But yeah. Got White Lion shattering here, Archer shattering here. Not sure what happened to Teclis, but it looks like, oh, here he is. Getting spears thrown at him by Orion, which is definitely an uncomfortable situation. Teclis going to go ahead and flee that situation. We'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit through this late game as Sarmatian puts the finishing touches on this battle here. But yeah, you can see Teclis getting caught up by War Dancers, definitely not the best. And this should spell the end for the High Elf forces here. So we'll watch as Teclis makes his last stand there. You can see Orion in the distance. Beautiful stuff. Very well played to both players. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. An awesome build from Sarmatian and great use of the terrain there on the approach. And yeah, just playing nice and patient, taking his time, getting a nice envelopment, and really compromising the backline with all those archers can potentially be a very dangerous build against the Wood Elves. But ultimately, Sarmatian was able to pull out the win there. Eternal Guards, Dryads all carrying quite a few kills. 63 kills on Dryads against High Elves, not bad at all. 203, though, on this unit of War Dancers. Just absolutely got into the cookie jar and ate all of the cookies. Literally all of the cookies, just like pounded a gallon of milk, no problem. These lasses are out of control. Absolutely out of control. But 85 kills on the Wildwood Rangers, 44 on these ones, 85 on Orion himself, not too bad. I would have liked to have maybe seen Penumbral Pendulum from the Branch Wraith, but ultimately he more or less did his job of healing and supporting, so good stuff there for the High Elf forces. 103 on those Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes definitely a very strong unit in this matchup. Unfortunately, the Archers, as many as were brought, weren't really able to pay out. They were a little bit focused on Orion there. Honestly, I would say they probably should have focused more on the Wood Elf infantry, and then once that's gone, then you can kind of isolate Orion and drag him down from there. But yeah, still a very fun battle. Hope you all enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.